Welcome to... I'm better. I really am better. Nana took good care of me. Welcome to Olivia's Money Show. I am the Olivia. The money in this week's Money Show is money and your pure, unadulterated feelings about it. So what we're really talking about there are beliefs about money. And so many people come to me for money coaching really certain that they are uncomfortable about money or that it stresses them out, but not clear on what is feeling so locked up in them. And a lot of times I hear something like, well, who am I to want to make more money? Or there are people all over the world, there are people in my city who cannot afford enough to eat for themselves, for their children. So who am I to want to go to a gourmet meal? People on the other spectrum who say, I feel privileged. I know that I'm privileged, but I don't get along with other people who are privileged. And so there's a disconnect there. And a lot of this comes from so many mixed messages that start to really grow together like vines in a root of a tree and other trees coming together. And so we're going to spend a number of episodes on this because I really want to start to throw out some ideas there of what I've seen can have sometimes been the root of some of these feelings, and to hear back, to give time for people to respond and type in the comments things, yes, that relate to them, but more in their words. And so as we start to more and more unravel what are the things that people are locked up about in terms of money that are leading them personally and societies and governments to make decisions that are not aligned with their values. So I see a couple of people here who can say hi. The other things that I wanted to say, other things that I've heard people, clients say, you know, if people, I have a roof over my head, how can I ask for more? A big one is people have asked me, I can't tell, is my desire for abundance authentic, or is it just coming from what I see on TV and social media? So those are some of the things that start to affect relationships. So yeah, we have a relationship coach here, because how much does your tightness about money start to affect how you are in relationship, not just with the partner, but with the world and with everyone at work? So what I've seen a lot is this entire generation, I'm not blaming this on anybody, but what I really see is people whose parents or grandparents grew up in the Great Depression. I have a lot of clients who have grandparents who were in the Holocaust, going through multiple world wars. I mean, this was earth-shattering. I'm sure you could say that about any century, but so many parents and grandparents went through really heart-wrenching economic times. And so what I've heard over and over again is this feeling of kids being told, I don't ever want you to worry about money, which is so heartfelt and benevolent and natural to want to protect our kids from worry. But what is that like for a little kid to hear, don't worry about money? Great. It's a great idea. If they're not worried about money, okay, great. But what if they go to the store and they're suddenly worried about money? Then do they go, oh, wait, I'm not supposed to worry about money, so I better not think about money? Or I'm not sure about money, but since I'm not supposed to worry about it, I'm just going to keep spending. So already from that one really heartfelt, natural parenting desire, we start to see how beliefs about money can take on a life of their own. And then I have worked with a lot of people who, in their family, it was, you know, ever since the war, he can't handle money. So it's a woman's job to make sure that the household runs smoothly. In other families, people really talked to the sons about money and did not talk to the girls about money, except to say, girls don't deal with money, or you're too pretty to worry yourself about numbers and things like that. So even if that wasn't something that you specifically have heard over your life, I'm guessing, yeah, I'm seeing some hearts from that. I'm guessing that there are those vibrations around you that we've all absorbed, whether or not they were in our family or even something on a TV show or in a movie or in a book that someone you read as a kid. Another one is then we've already got this gnarled ball of rot. Oh, no, that was not a Freudian slip. Or was it? Of roots of all of these money perspectives, beliefs that are sometimes conflicting. Then we get to the 1970s and suddenly women are supposed to be working. And no one is supposed to make a partnership decision based on money at all. Whereas for centuries, that is how you built a family, was based on economics. So that already is throwing things for this huge loop. So many people were told be smart about money, and I'm sure, again, you could say this about any century, but what it has meant to be smart about money has changed so much in the last 50 years that it's no wonder people have a hard time catching up. So my invitation to you, I said we're going to be on this topic for a couple of episodes, is to really begin to feel into what those roots of those beliefs are. If you're not sure you even want to like money, going back to your basic needs. So yes, you have a roof over your head. What is going to help in where you live for you to shine even more of your light? We know what it's like to be in survival, but can you help the most people? Can you express the most of yourself if you're in survival mode? What are those basic needs in extrapolation of how you want to craft your life in order to be more you and to bring more of you to the world? And of course, there's the very cliche of it's hard to help the world when you can't help yourself. So I don't necessarily want to go completely in that extreme direction, but that basic idea holds true. Also, I want to leave us with this final feeling of, in terms of just what it feels like to shift perspective, is the idea, finish your plate. There are children in Africa starving, so you have to finish your plate. And people more and more are starting to take a look at, wait, this plate that's on my food right now, this is an analogy warning, ostensibly is to nourish me in this moment. And so what is best for me in terms of what's on this plate right now, and the belief that I always finish my plate and that it's ungrateful to waste any. And so there are generations of people now looking at this plate going, is it really serving me to stuff myself right now? The fact that I want to eat half a gallon of ice cream at another time, that could be a separate issue. It's probably related. Money and food relationships are often very related. But I just want to give that idea of, if you've ever shifted a perspective that is so ingrained, children in Africa are starving, so you eat everything off your plate. That can be a lot like what the process is when you start to expand your perspective about money, about what your capacity to bring money in is, and how that capacity shifts. So that is this episode's food for thought, and it's going to be great in the comments, either over there on YouTube or here in Facebook, to start for everybody to share what their versions, their perspectives of that money tightness, of beliefs we've gotten about money that either still feel very stuck or that you have started to see the path out of. So keep the conversation going, because together we can help shift what has been this taboo of money to what can be a world where people are making decisions that are best for everyone's values, instead of working from that knotted root. I'm going to say rot again. I'm just going to say rot. That's fine. Okay, great.